During the college entrance exam, students had prepared cheat sheets, but instead of getting angry, the teacher wrote the answers directly on the blackboard, letting them compete in copying skills. To the teacher, they were just fools. After all, the only outcome of cheating last year was that just a handful of students managed to pass. But just as they had copied down 2 questions, the loud noise of cars broke the silence of the exam hall. A newly appointed police chief walked in. Seeing the answers on the blackboard and the students' cheat sheets, he immediately asked what was going on. Soon, the school principal, with a head full of hair, stepped forward to explain. Cheating, he claimed, was an ancient tradition of the school. With their level of knowledge, students could never graduate normally, but with a little help, at least they could pass and find some humble job to survive. Not only that, the principal even tried to use his market connections to persuade the police chief, but the chief wasn't buying it. Still unwilling to give up, the principal took out a box full of cash, hoping to bribe him. Unfortunately, he underestimated this police chief. The chief ordered his men to record the bribery as evidence and had the principal arrested on the spot. That meant the students could no longer graduate normally. To survive, Manoj and his brother started renting a car to carry passengers for money. But because this affected the mayor's bus business, the police began hunting them down. At the police station, Manoj was brutally tortured. Realizing he and his companions were in desperate straits, he seized a chance to escape. Out of sheer hope, he went to seek help from the righteous police chief. To his surprise, the chief personally went to the station to investigate. The bus driver accused Manoj of using a private car to smuggle alcohol and even breaking his leg. But with just one strike of his baton, the police chief exposed the lie. Seeing this man stand fearlessly for the people, Manoj felt an overwhelming surge of respect. He realized that the reason the mayor called cheating an ancient tradition was because those in power never wanted to let go. As long as the poor remained uneducated, the masses would blindly follow the strong. So Manoj looked the chief straight in the eyes and asked with determination, "How can I become a righteous officer like you?" The spark in his eyes showed unshakable resolve. At that moment, the gears of destiny began to turn. Out of 200,000 candidates, one future police officer would rise. His perseverance would go on to inspire countless students. But right now, Manoj was just a poor student who had cheated on every exam for 12 years straight. After hearing those words from the chief, something inside him changed. He began to study like a man possessed. When the school restored its ancient tradition of cheating again, he was the only one who didn't cheat. The chief's voice echoed in his mind like a guiding light. For 3 years, day after day, he devoted himself fully to learning. Finally, he passed his bachelor's degree exams with outstanding marks. When Manoj worried about paying tuition, his grandmother called him into a room, opened a box, and handed him her life's savings. This wasn't just money, it was her sweat, sacrifice, and his only hope to study. Manoj broke down, hugging her tightly, tears streaming down his face. The next day, carrying his family's hopes, he set out on his journey. On the bus, he confided in a woman beside him, sharing his burning dream with a hopeful smile. But when he woke up, his bag was gone. The driver told him the woman had taken it and gotten off earlier. Shaken and desperate, Manoj searched in vain through the crowd. His grandmother's words echoed painfully. She had given him everything. Now it was gone. That night, under the dim streetlights, he sat alone, drowning in despair. Yet the next morning, exhausted but resolute, he stepped into a coaching institute, only to hear the crushing news: the civil service exam had been canceled. Once again, his dreams were shattered. Lost and hungry in the big city, his pride clashed with his starving body. Finally, he lowered his head and begged a restaurant owner for food. Within a minute, he devoured the entire plate. Then, still holding on to his dignity, he offered to work in return for the meal. The owner ignored him until a kind student paid for his food. That student, Pandey, told him he was heading to Delhi to take the UPSC police officer exam, far tougher than the state exam. Manoj begged to join him, and soon the two set out together. In Delhi, when Manoj saw tens of thousands of candidates, his confidence wavered. Through an acquaintance, they met a senior, Mr. Gowri, who explained the brutal path. Out of 200,000 candidates, only 1,500 qualify for the mains. Out of those, just 200 pass to the interview. And finally, only 20 people become officers. The competition was terrifying, but every candidate got 4 attempts, reigniting Manoj's fighting spirit. He found work at a library, so he could study by day and sleep there at night. Under Gowri's guidance, Manoj adapted quickly. After months of hard work, he sat for his first prelims, but failed. Still, he didn't give up. With Gowri's encouragement, he pressed on. Another year passed, and he finally cleared the prelims. Later, he enrolled in a coaching institute for the mains. But when he discovered they were using fake endorsements with the senior officer's photo, Manoj not only got his money refunded, but also warned a fellow student, saving her from being scammed. That girl thanked him, admiring his courage to self-study and pass. For Manoj, it was the first time a city girl had spoken to him kindly, and he couldn't stop thinking of her. Eventually, the two met again at the library. She, named Tara, mistook him for an engineering student. They grew close, studying together. She even bought him a precious book he couldn't afford. But when she learned the truth that he wasn't an engineer, she felt betrayed, and their friendship cracked. As if that wasn't enough, Manoj was later falsely accused of stealing scrap money at the library. Humiliated and heartbroken, he quit. When his friend Pandey found him again, Manoj was working in a grimy milk flour mill, his dreams buried under dust. Yet, when he attempted the mains, his confidence returned. After writing his English paper, he proudly told classmates he had written a great essay on terrorism, only to realize too late the actual topic was tourism. The devastating mistake left him broken, collapsing in grief.